Any health-related information on the following show provides general information only. Content presented on any show by any host or guest should not be substituted for a doctor's advice. Always consult your physician before beginning any new diet, exercise, or treatment program.
Welcome to Accelerated Health Radio and TV. I'm your host, Sara Banta. I'm a health coach, natural supplement expert, and a busy mom of 3 teenagers. I believe your body does want to and is capable of rebuilding and healing itself regardless of what chronic disease you may have. And I'm here for you to answer your questions and bring you innovative and cutting-edge technology and health solutions to empower you and your ability to reach your optimal state of health. Today, my guest will be talking about frequency-based healing. I know that you really need that strong physical foundation in order to work on your mental growth and spiritual growth. They're all intertwined, and whether it's overcoming anxiety and depression, losing weight, or detoxing the body in the proper way, and even increasing your level of frequency in life, you need that strong physical foundation in order to gain the willpower to make the bigger changes in your life. So if you're new to following me, I specialize in helping you get there. You can find my health articles, my cutting-edge natural supplements, devices, and protocols at acceleratedhealthproducts.com, including the one we are going to be talking about today. I dive into an array of health conditions, their causes and symptoms, and how to address them naturally. I have spent thousands of dollars and hours of my time biohacking different products, different modalities, different diets and technologies that don't work so that you don't have to. And if you have any health issues you need my help with, you can email me through the website. I personally read every one, and I'm happy to put a personalized protocol there for you. Accelerated Health Products is the sponsor of the show, so as you support my website, I'm able to bring you more cutting-edge content and guests to the show. Today, like I mentioned, we're going to be diving in on how to heal the body through frequency and energy. And if you've been listening to me before, you know that a lot of my supplements are actually frequency enhanced, where you can't find that anywhere else. Well, we're going to be talking about a device that is frequency-based as well. But first, I want to talk about my monthly free group coaching that comes with the Accelerated Ascent Diet Cleanse. We start every first Monday of the month. It has been amazing. It's the most comprehensive cleanse I have, and the groups that have gone have had such amazing results. It's blown me away. They reported those fat pounds that they can't get rid of, the stubborn ones, finally go away. They increased and sustained physical and mental energy. That brain fog goes away, better bowel movements, which is super important for detoxification. Decreased appetite, day 1. The ability to intermittent fast. When the person is normally eating 6 to 8 meals a day, they're intermittent fasting for up to 22 hours, no problem. Getting clear skin, whiter eyes, better sleep, less moodiness, and improved cellular permeability, which means that the toxins can get out of the cells easier and the nutrients can get in. If you're taking in good food and good nutrients and good supplements, but the cells are not accepting it, it does you no good. So we improve that number, and you start to see a real shift in your body, physically, mentally, and spiritually. And you can use devices like we're going to talk about today to supplement your process and make things go quicker. And you just feel like you are living at a whole nother level. It takes the fear out of life. We are so bombarded by fear right now that to control your health is imperative, and you can be in control of your family's health as well. So the difference between me and any other group coaching is I provide the most cutting-edge frequency enhanced supplements and devices that work synergistically with each other, and your body doesn't experience those flu-like symptoms, and you feel great day 1. So if you have any questions about it, leave a comment below, share this with a friend, or you can email me directly through the website, acceleratedhealthproducts.com. So now to the good stuff. Ryan Williams is back. He has been on the show before, but we're going to go through more details, what this device is and how it can help you. He is a pioneer in the biofeedback industry. As a child requiring speech therapy, he'd always been interested in biofeedback as a treatment technique. From being a patient to becoming a practitioner, he's witnessed the tremendous result of biofeedback. And over the past 20 years, Ryan has become a leader in the industry. He created the first voice analysis app, and it took over 8 months to work with designers and engineers to create it. And since then, it's gone on to produce over 30 customized apps, solutions based upon principle of interactive biofeedbacks. His flagship app is called the Genius Insight app, and here it is right here. I've got it running all day long, and it's constantly helping heal me and take me to a whole new level of frequency. So welcome, Ryan. How are you this morning?
I'm doing really good, thank you. And how are you? And thank you for the introduction. That's very kind of you.
I'm good. And I'm just so excited to bring you to my audience and my clients, because this is a technology that I have been using, for over 15 years through the SCIO machine, or frequency-based healing through something called the SCIO machine. Now, the SCIO machine's great. It's very expensive, takes a lot of, you can't just use it day one. You've got to learn it. You've got to be a practitioner usually. And that's how I learned or was introduced to frequency-based healing. But this is so great because it's giving people their power back over their healing and their health. In a time that no one wants to go to the doctor, it's not easy to go to a doctor, and we're full of fear. We don't know which way to go, who to believe, what lies are being told. So this is a way to really check in with yourself in mind, body, and spirit, and see how you can heal yourself.
Yeah, I couldn't agree with you more. I think, what really excites me about, sort of energy medicine or sort of frequency-based medicine is that it really does give the user the opportunity where they can truly take control of their own health, and they can delve into their body like, never before. And if you go across the ages, you spoke about the SCIO, which is certainly one of the sort of predecessor frequency medicine devices that have been around. But, really the exciting thing for me was, back in the days when, I don't want to say the first computer came out, but I think I'd moved to the US in 2001. And, at that stage, everyone was getting used to having computers at home, and you could get on the internet and you could check your emails and everything else. And it was during that whole sort of revolution of your home-based computers where you had a lot of pioneers that started looking at, sort of computer-based technology and figured, hey, the next step or the next evolution is to try to find a way where we can take the vast processing power of a computer and somehow tap into the biofield, or sort of biohack, the biofield. So if I look back at it now, that was in 2001, we're in 2020, and in all fairness, it's been going on for probably 10, 15 years beforehand anyways. So, as much as what it's still a sort of new discovery kind of field, the development of the home-based computers, and then obviously the iPhones and the iPads and everything else has really accelerated this whole process, and it's enabled people to sort of take control of their own health in the comfort of their own home as well.
Before we get going, maybe you can explain to the listeners, what is biofield and what does it mean if something's in my biofield?
Of course. So, to sort of give you probably a pretty good sort of visual idea is that everybody talks about an aura. And in some ways, a very simplistic process of your biofield would be your aura. So, we can go to these aura readings, and people can do your aura analysis, etc. So that is a small aspect of your actual biofield. But from a sort of technical term, your biofield contains, it's probably a sort of a 6 to 8 foot area around your body where your body consists of all this sort of vital information, and this vital information is in the forms of frequency, it's in the forms of waves, it's in the forms of shapes and everything else. And that whole biofield is basically what constitutes who you are today. But to try to break it down from a real simplistic method is that if you look at your aura, everyone's heard about their aura. Now, what's interesting about your aura is that your aura is constantly changing. It's very dynamic. So to give you an example, if you take some of your products that you've got, if somebody holds one of your products, or if they ingest one of your products, your auric field will literally change in that moment. Oh. To give you another, sort of real life example, if I give you a fright, if we sing happy birthday, or if you listen to different kinds of music, your auric field will change. It's a very it's in a constant state of change. It's very dynamic. And in many ways, your biofield is very dynamic because it's impacted by your frequencies or your energy around you. You surround yourself with light workers, and I can guarantee you, your biofield will change. You surround yourself with people that are fighting and arguing, your biofield, it will change. And the reality is that as you begin to change your biofield, that slowly begins to actually manifest into physical stress in your body. And that's obviously what we want to do. We want to find different ways, different products, different kinds of technology to help remove the stress in our body. So what we're trying to do in some ways is that as much as what we can focus on the sort of physiology of the body, we also want to look at the biofield as well. Because if you can sort of clean up your biofield, you're obviously getting to the sort of root of the cause as well.
I've experienced, just for my own, I try to eat clean. I do my intermittent fasting. I take my supplements. There will be times where there's a blockage in my digestive system and I can feel it. When I run a program on it, it clears, or I can feel the blockages open. So it's very interesting that, and this will answer a lot of people's questions. Like, I am doing everything I'm supposed to do, Sara, and I'm hitting a plateau. What is it? Well, it could be a stressor that they're not aware of, and that the Genius Insight app can pick up and then clear energetically.
I couldn't agree with you more. And just to sort of add to that, one of my experiences, you talk about your biofield and you talk about people's energy. I'm going back, many, many years ago, but originally from South Africa, I was flying back there to go and see my family. And in the plane, I got into an argument with a gentleman about the seating arrangements and everything else. And I kid you not, for the 9-hour flight from here to the UK, he was basically fighting and arguing with me that the captain had to come out and tell him to be quiet, and the air stewards were trying to contain him. And, the reality is that there was one true experience that I had about how one person can impact your biofield. I kid you not, I got to South Africa, and for about a week, I was detoxing. I was sick as can be. And it's not that I picked up a virus or anything like that. I was exposed to such sort of negative, toxic energy. It really impacted me. And I think, when you have those sort of those little miracles, or those little moments in your life, it really does, reinforce the importance of A, the work that light workers are doing, and B, how important it is to ensure that you look after yourself and you do the best that you can to sort of give yourself the energetic support that your body needs.
Absolutely. I mean, I through my group coaching, I would say about 3 to 4 weeks in, a lot of people will say, I can't believe it. I just cut off a friend that is toxic to my life, or I had a breakthrough with my husband, or I'm seeing things differently, because they are living at a new level of frequency. And this product and this technology takes people to that higher level even quicker. So you work on yourself with exercise and sleep and diet and nutrition and supplements, but this is one more tool in the toolbox to enhance that life, taking you to a whole nother level. So why don't we discuss the nuts and bolts of the Genius Insight app and how it works, the voice technology, because that's something that people just can't get their mind around.
Of course, and neither can I get my mind around it sometimes. But gosh, let me put it to you this way. Maybe in talking about the Genius, I'll answer some of your questions, or maybe I won't. I'm not too sure. But I think one of the exciting things about computerized technology, let's just talk about sort of computers in general, is that it has the ability to process a vast amount of data in a short period of time. So the thing that excites me about computer-based technology or computer-based assessments is that you can gather or do research on a lot of data in a short period of time. So from a sort of clinical perspective, or a wellness seeker that is trying to find ways to improve their own health and well-being, or maybe their friends and family, the kind of technology that we've developed, it generates data on a lot of different items in a very short period of time. So to put that into perspective, for all intents and purposes, you push a button. This button runs a scan, and it scans through thousands and thousands of items. And these items can range from different herbs to different emotions, to different nutrients, to your spinal energy flow, to electroacupuncture, to your body systems, to what's at risk today. So all those different items are basically just different frequencies. And it's almost like we sort of pinging the body with these different frequencies, and then we want to see how the body responds. So to give you an example, let's say there's 5,000 items that through some mechanism I'm going to present to your body, however it is, if it's as a frequency or if it's as music or whatever it may be. But when I present 5,000 items or substances to your body is going to respond differently to each and every one of these items. And what's important is to look at the manner in which your body has responded. So in other words, if your body responds like very high to a certain item, there's a reason why your body is responding high to an item versus low to an item. On a sort of subconscious level, there's something going on within your body that is prompting your body to say, high item, yes, this is me, versus a low item where your body just doesn't really respond. So that, I'm probably going backwards and forwards, but that's basically the sort of premise about computerized testing technology. And what I mean by that is there's many different modalities out there, but we're all trying to find ways to sort of tap into the biofield. We're trying to find ways to understand how the body is actually reacting. So with that said, I've been blessed, to be involved in this industry for many, many years, and I've seen the evolution of technology, of computers, and then the development of the iPhone and the iPad and the Android and everything else. It's been absolutely wonderful just to see how computerized technology has made our life so much easier. In some ways, though, it's made it so much easier that then when those things break, it's like, oh my gosh, it's like the end of the world. Sadly, our kids today with TikTok and Instagram have found a different way to enjoy the sort of computerized technology. But essentially in 2011 or 2012, I had this brain download dump, so to speak, and the goal that I had, or what I saw come to me, was trying to find a way where we could take frequency-based medicine or computerized stress testing and A, make it more affordable, and B, condense it into a kind of mobile application. Now, if you go back to 2011, 2012, mobile applications were literally just coming out onto the markets. It was still a very new concept to us. we had no blueprint to follow, as I've mentioned before. But nonetheless, I just felt I sort of had this vision, and we started working towards that. And, in a nutshell, the way the Genius Insight works is that we try to analyze your body using your voice. And then once we've analyzed your body using your voice, we then select a series of energetic frequencies or energetic signals or impulses or musical tones to play that back into the body to help stimulate your body's own innate healing ability. So it's a kind of sort of two-tiered approach that we've got. The first tier is that, we want to find a way where we can see what's going on within your body. The way we do that is through a process where we can analyze your voice. So a typical sort of case scenario is you were talking to the app, we capture your voice. Now, obviously, your voice it's a kind of real complex it's a real complex wave pattern, right? So what we want to do is take that complex wave pattern, we run it through this mathematical algorithm to get a pretty simplistic voice wave pattern. And then hopefully all of your listeners will agree with the concept that everything is in a constant state of vibration, whether it's a herb, whether it's a thought, whether it's an emotion, whether it's a table or a supplement. Everything has its own sort of unique resonance or its own unique vibration. So the next part of our process is to take the energetic signatures of all of these different items, ranging from herbs to emotions, etc. And then we basically ping the voice. I guess ping is a different terminology, but we basically will take all these different items that are listed as a set of different frequencies, and then we compare it against the voice, or we basically ping the voice. And, as I mentioned to you beforehand, when you ping the voice, it's so cool because your body is going to respond to that, or your voice is going to respond to that. And how your voice responds to that helps you glean certain health-related information about your body.
What's crazy too is that in what I do, and this is hopefully I bring value to my clients, is that I biohack a whole bunch of different things, whole bunch of different devices, supplements, things that don't work, do work, whatever. I have other devices to independently confirm whether they're coming up with the same solutions or the same results, or I just know my body. And if I feel a shift in my body, to say there's a hormonal shift, I'm in perimenopause, so there's lots of hormonal issues that I'm going through right now. If I can feel a shift in that hormonal issue, it will be reflected in the app. Now, how does the app know other than my voice telling it that that's happening? And that's just one, example. But one of my questions is, if someone is in my biofield as I am getting scanned, will the Genius app actually pick up some issues from the person that is close to me?
That's a great question. The short and the long answer of that is I actually don't know. As I said, this is still an emerging field. There's a whole bunch of stuff that we're still trying to figure out. And honestly, the more work we do in this, the more confused I get. Sometimes I'm like a deer in headlights. We are currently rebuilding our whole voice analysis engine right now, and we've been doing that for the last sort of 2 or 3 months, and we're incorporating new kind of 3D visual graphics and making tweaks to the analysis components and that. And it's just interesting because, as you work more and more, you just realize, wow, there's so much about life and science and energy that we just do not know. However, with that said, to the best of my knowledge is that, as long as you are talking into the app, it's basically recording your voice. It's creating a sort of energetic link with you as that individual. We have, 1 or 2 harness systems that you would attach, to yourself or to your clients or to your children or your husband. And then what it does, it actually condenses those musical tones or those energetic signatures, and they go directly into that specific person. But the larger question here is if somebody is in my biofield, are they going to be impacted? I think it's important to understand that, from a sort of energetic perspective, we are being bombarded with frequencies all the time. Millions and millions of energetic signatures are stimulating our body all the time. What I think is amazing about how intelligent our body is that we absorb what we need and we assimilate what we need, and we basically discard what we don't need. So to give you an example, you've got two people in the same sort of biofield. You are running the Genius on one client. Remember that you are taking a sort of snapshot of that person's current state of health, and you're trying to address the imbalances in that moment with that specific client. So typically, they are going to be a lot more receptive to the frequencies that are being generated, and they're going to be able to absorb and assimilate those frequencies much more effectively as well, because essentially everyone's voice imprint is different. Everyone's imprint in the actual universe is different. So really, by using the voice and everything else, we're doing our best to establish a sort of energetic link with that specific client. But look, at the end of the day, if someone's getting an extra dose of vitamin C or vitamin B, or even some additional, beneficial frequencies that, from a subconscious level, the body decides to absorb that, that's fine. I certainly don't think that's going to do any harm. But again, it just goes back to the original premise, is that the body absorbs what it needs and it discards what it doesn't need.
That makes sense. I know there are so many different devices out there, and on your website you go through them, and I do as well on my website of all the, there's so many that are really expensive and they're a waste of money. And I actually bought one, and my mentor said, "Oh my gosh, Sara, why did you pay for that? You need to go check out the Genius Insight app." And that's how I met you, and the rest is history. But I have a common question, is that I've been using the AMP coil for years before I knew of the Genius Insight app. And so I use both. But I have a lot of clients, of course, because of financial situations, that don't want to get both. And they ask me, what is the difference? When would you use one over the other? So maybe you can talk about that a little bit.
Gosh, I can certainly try. First and foremost, the specific sort of modality that you're referring to is something called PEMF, which is a pulsed electromagnetic field. And, regardless of which technology you got, there's many different PEMF devices that are out in the market today. And this is in my humble opinion. As far as I'm concerned, PEMF is the sort of gold standard when it comes to all different sort of modalities. As I alluded to beforehand, there's sort of the technology that is currently available is like twofold. You have some technology that can analyze the body, and then you've got other technology which specifically would be the PEMF, which can actually deliver the sort of balancing frequencies or the pulsed electromagnetic frequencies into the body. So, from the sort of output or the therapeutic side, you've got many different kinds. You've got PEMF, you've got microcurrent stimulator, you've got GSR, galvanic skin response, you've got electromagnetic frequencies, you've got sound therapy, you've got music therapy. So there's, many different ways that you can deliver the balancing frequencies, into the body. So again, in my humble opinion, PEMF is one of the gold standards. But the thing that I enjoy about how we can actually work with existing PEMF devices is that the shortfall with many PEMF devices right now is that it can't actually delve into the body as a sort of individual, unique being. It'll have a preset series of maybe 10 or 15 different functions, and maybe today you only work on the immune system, so you push a button, it generates a bunch of frequencies, for the immune system. Okay, great. But guess what? You first of all got to decide, which program you want to work on. Maybe it's actually not the immune system today. Maybe it's actually an emotional component which is actually compromising your immune system. Or maybe your liver is out of whack, and that's why you've got an emotional disturbance going on. The body is a real complex it's a real complex organism. And to build one device and have 10 or 15 or 20 sort of preset functions, I find in many ways it sort of goes against the whole concept of, frequency medicine, because there's millions and millions and thousands of different frequencies and modalities and conceptual ideas out there. So to me, what I enjoy about our technology is that you can actually interface it with most PEMF devices. Mm-hmm. And instead of just pushing a button for an immune system, as an example, you can actually run a deep analysis on yourself or your friends, family, your husband, your kids, and you can see which specific frequencies would be beneficial for your client in that moment. And then guess what? You attach the Genius to the PEMF, and you now have a specific custom playlist of specific frequencies that are now being broadcast using pulsed electromagnetic field, which, as I said, in my opinion, it's one of the gold. It is one of the gold standards. So, PEMF is great. Combine it with the Genius. To me, you've got the best thing since rice krispies.
That is what I found, where you can connect. I mean, the other part of it with the Genius Insight app, with the details and of the feedback that it's giving you, you can also meditate on what it is telling you to then expedite the healing and any blockages. The other thing we don't realize is that maybe you have a cough and you're thinking, oh, well, I need to go to the doctor and get an antibiotic. I'll never forget this story. It was maybe when my daughter was in first grade and she had a cough, and everyone said, oh, take her to the doctor. She's got a cold. Well, actually, it was another organ that was pushing on her lungs. I think it was her kidneys. I can't remember the details. It had nothing to do with a virus or bacteria or a lung function. So anyways, my point is that with the Genius Insight app, you're getting such detail, and it could be an emotional trauma that's causing a physical ailment. So if you're going to go about it on a general program on a PEMF, you might not be going after the source of the problem, which could be emotional or spiritual or something else. So I love what you're saying with the combination, and I love the constant feedback. I also love, number one, cost-wise, it's much cheaper. That is amazing when in a time where finances are an issue and staying at home's an issue, and we never know if we're going to be locked down or not locked down, but it gives you that power, and it gives you that power over your loved ones. So I want to talk about, we're going to take a short commercial break, but when we come back, I want to talk about the Quantum Capsule and how you can not just take care of yourself, but you can take care of your family members, your friends, or even your clients if you're a practitioner. So we're going to take a short commercial break and come right back and talk with Ryan Williams. Welcome back to Accelerated Health Radio and TV. I'm your host, Sara Banta, the owner of Accelerated Health products. And today we have Ryan Williams talking about the Genius Insight app. If you're interested to learn more about it, you can find it at Accelerated Health Products, and we will help you out with all of your questions. Ryan, I know that you are constantly working and getting upgrades, because constantly I'm getting an app upgrade on my Genius app saying something's new. And I know that you are so in tune with what your clients are giving you feedback on the app, how to make it better. And I love that about you. You're so accessible. The training is easy and amazing on a weekly basis. So it's not something scary. That's the other thing with a lot of these technologies. People go, well, I don't even know what to do with this thing. This step by step. I mean, I remember when I first got mine, I was looking at it for, 24 hours, just diving into all it could do. I was so blown away by it. But I felt like I had it handled within 24 hours, or at least to get myself going. And then there's so much more to learn. But I wanted to talk about the Quantum Capsule and how you've upgraded that and what people can do with that.
For sure. As a little disclaimer, I've been informed quite often that my communication skills are not the best, and specifically when it comes to the Quantum Capsule, it is really difficult to explain. And it's not that it's difficult. I just have sometimes a challenge to take what's in my mind and sort of verbalize it. But I think, just going back to the Genius, what has always excited me about the Genius, and just to tap into what you were saying before that commercial, is that it sort of breaks my heart how so many wellness seekers, so many moms and step parents and children and families, they literally give their life over to their doctor. They go and see their doctor. They don't ask any questions. The doctor will spend a few minutes, give them a prescription. They can't even read the flippant prescription. They go to the pharmacy, they take the stuff, and then off they go. And to me, it's like, I'm not chatting bash doctors, but what breaks my heart about that is the lack of education. Look, if you want to take prescription drugs, hey, by all means, but at least get the doctor to spend 5, 10, 15 minutes with you and educate you on the prescription, and what it should do and what it shouldn't do, and what to sort of look out for. And I think there's such a big breakdown in the healthcare industry right now, where you've got so many families that literally just give their life away. And coming back to the Genius, what I enjoy about that is that when we do the analysis, it gives you very clear information. It's like cool sort of charts and graphs and everything else, and it helps you understand the sort of energetic disturbances in your body. Now, again, let me be clear, is this 100% accurate? Absolutely not. And I certainly do not make any claims about that. But, after doing this for the last sort of 10 years, we've got thousands of users worldwide that absolutely love our technology. The more you use it, the more you understand it, the more the data begins to make sense to you, and the more you can begin to find the sort of common themes and the sort of common patterns. And whether you're a practitioner or whether you're a stay-at-home mom or you're a part-time mom or whatever it is, we tend to get stuck in our sort of almost like sort of tunnel vision in a way. And what I mean by that is, if you're a chiropractor, as an example, you'll go to a chiropractor and he'll look at you from a chiropractic perspective. You'll go to a massage therapy or a massage therapist, and they'll look at you from, a sort of massage therapist perspective. What the Genius does, it takes all these different holistic health modalities and it brings it into one system. So, guess what? When you do an analysis, maybe today you need massage, but tomorrow maybe you do another analysis and maybe you need acupuncture. And then next week you do another analysis and maybe your emotions are out of whack. And to me, what excites me about this technology is being able to condense, all these different modalities that, into one system. And the objective here is to actually help educate you as well. So instead of just giving away your power to a clinician or a doctor or whatever it is, the way we've tried to build the technology is to help educate you and help teach you more about your body. Because obviously, the more you know about yourself, the more you know about your body, the better it is that you can actually help your body to heal itself. And that's really the goal.
Absolutely. I also love that on the Genius app, you can create your own libraries. What I've done, I've created libraries of my supplements so that I can see and check in on what my body's asking for that day. Or maybe there's a supplement I'm taking that my body actually doesn't want or doesn't need. Or you can put in different food groups, and maybe you're reacting to a certain quote unquote healthy food. And that's what I also talk a lot about on my website and through my coaching, is that you could be eating healthy foods that are poisonous to you. But how do you know unless you go out and get an expensive test? Or you can just scan your voice on the Genius Insight app and get some feedback. And if it repeatedly comes up, then you're learning more about your body. So like I said, I've got a son going off to college next year. I'm not going to send an expensive PEMF machine with him, but I could send him a Quantum Capsule and send him frequencies when he needs them and when his body's out of balance. So let's talk about the Quantum Capsule.
Absolutely. Definitely one of the sort of turning points in our sort of business, to be candid with you. It's, again, when we came out with the Genius, a lot of my sort of mentors on that, when I told them the price that we were looking at, they thought I was absolutely bonkers. Whether they're right now or not, it's really immaterial. But, in the same manner, coming from South Africa, third world country, etc., I've always been very acutely aware of sort of people's financial means and that. So we had the Genius app, which has been great. People use it all the time. But we wanted to try to find a way where we could help practitioners or the moms and dads, the home health seekers, the home wellness seekers, provide balancing in a much easier, in a much more affordable format. So to put that into perspective, as you were saying, your son's going away to, he's going away to college. So it makes it a bit of a challenge. And that is why we developed a smaller app, which is called the Insight Quantum Capsule. What the Insight Quantum Capsule does, it costs pennies on the dollar, and B, it allows your friends, your children, your grandparents, your husband, wherever they are in the world, it allows them to actually do a sort of remote analysis and then receive frequencies to actually help get their balancing back as well. So in other words, they can actually speak into the app, and that audio clip is uploaded to the server. As a Genius practitioner, they can be anywhere in the world. They get notified that a new audio clip has been uploaded. They then go ahead and download that audio clip, and then they basically run an analysis, almost as if your client was inside your actual office. Then once they've completed the analysis, they create what's known as a playlist, which is like a kind of sort of custom frequency list based upon the initial voice imprint. So they would take all of those different frequencies or musical tones or energetic signatures, and your client anywhere in the world would be able to import that specific playlist, and then they can listen to those frequencies all day, every day for up to 7 days before, obviously your body changes, and then it's advised that after 7 days you contact your practitioner or your health and wellness seeker, and then you get a top up of your frequencies as well. And really what excites us about this is now you've got you've got clinicians, you've got practitioners who can really build up a truly global audience of clientele, because it doesn't matter where you are in the world. All you do is that you download the app, and bearing in mind there's a 2-week free trial as well. So they can download the app, and then during those 2 weeks you can do one or two assessments on them. You can send them the frequencies, If they feel the benefit, if they experience the benefit, great. If they don't, you know what? Nothing ventured, nothing gained.
That's what I also love, is that you're offering a 2-week free trial. So there's no downside to jumping in and trying this out. And another thing that just sparked in my mind is that right now, a lot of people have lost their jobs. They're stuck at home. This is a way that you could actually earn an extra little income if you wanted to start treating other people or using the Quantum Capsule as building a business. It's definitely doable. I am just blown away by the technology and how it really brings into everyone's field how you are all integrated physically, mentally, spiritually, energetically, and how they're intertwined. And this is the only device that I've ever seen that really encapsulates all of it. When you go to the doctor, they take a blood test and they treat the symptoms. They don't look at what the problem is. And then you're taking a medication that has 10 side effects, and then you need more medication for those side effects. And this is going to the source of the problem and teaching you what to do and how to increase your frequency, how to eat better. Maybe you're working out too hard. The Genius Insight app will tell you that. Excessive muscle tear down, or excessive working out, or strenuous, maybe it's the physical stress, maybe it's the emotional stress. We, Ryan, have just another minute or so. And so I wanted to make sure there wasn't anything else you wanted to mention that we haven't covered on the Genius Insight app.
I'd like to share sort of one thing with you, a sort of parting knowledge, is that, when you deal with our like frequency medicine, to the best of my knowledge, and I do stand to be corrected, there has not been, one death, there has not been one side effect or anything like that. When you look at, sort of allopathic medication, when you look at, prescriptions, they've got to do these double-blind trials. Do you know that they have not ever done one study to show the impact of somebody taking more than one prescription drug at a time? Mm-hmm. And even if you look at the side effects of all these prescription drugs, it can cause. That is just on that one specific prescription tablet. Now, you tell me, how many people do you know that are on prescription pills but are taking only one? There's no ways. Most people are taking between 5 to 7 to 8 different prescriptions. And that, to me, is frightening, that there's been no studies, nothing documented. Nothing has documented the side impact of taking all these different, prescription pills at sort of one time.
Absolutely. I remember I was in my late 20s and my friend mentioned something about picking up her prescriptions, and I said, "Oh, I'm not on any." And her mouth dropped open. She goes, "You're not on one?"
Oh my God.
Over 20 years ago. And it's just a known thing that people go to the pharmacy on a monthly basis to pick up their prescriptions. And what people don't realize is, regardless of what prescription that is, your body sees it as a poison or a toxin, and it causes leaky gut, it causes inflammation, it causes autoimmune disease. All of these things are snowballing, and then they wonder what has caused all of these issues, or they're all of a sudden 45, 50 years old and they are gaining weight out of nowhere. They're not eating any different. Things haven't really changed. All of these unexplained pains and aches and things. So that is where I really want to stress, if you don't get anything else out of this show, that you are in control and you can bring it back into control over your health and your family's health. And the Genius Insight app is one more tool in your toolbox, and it kind of brings everything back together. So thank you, Ryan, for joining us today. I'm so excited to have had you on, and I know we'll have you on again as you're continuing to make things better, and you're doing so much good in this world, and bless you for doing that.
Well, thank you very much. Lovely to be here once again.
Alrighty, thanks everybody else for joining us today. And if I can help you with any of your health issues, you can contact me directly through the website or Sara at acceleratedhealthproducts.com. I'm happy to put together a protocol for you or to let you know if the Ascent Diet Cleanse is a great place for you to start. Also, you can find me on Facebook and Instagram under Accelerated Health Products, and my YouTube channel on over 100 channels at Accelerated Health Radio and TV. I also do Accelerated Health Bites, where I do short informational videos and health topics that you ask me about. If you like what you hear today, please hit the subscribe button and share with a few friends who may need my help. And join us every Wednesday at 8 a.m. Pacific time. You can also use coupon W4HC20 for 20% off site-wide at Accelerated Health Products. Have a great week.
Thanks, Ed. Bye-bye.